The Krithian Empire had conquered 47 star systems in 3 centuries. Their military doctrine was perfection itself, overwhelming force, psychological warfare, and the systematic breaking of enemy morale. When they intercepted Earth's first colony ship and issued their standard ultimatum, they expected the usual response: fear, negotiation, eventual surrender. Earth's response arrived 6 months later in the form of a single ship. Commander Zyxthal watched the human vessel drift into orbit around the disputed moon of Epsilon 7. It was small, unimpressive, with minimal armor and outdated weapons systems. The transmission that followed was even more puzzling. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. We're here to discuss terms." Diplomatic Corps. The Empire's intelligence had been clear: Earth had no standing military, only fragmented security forces and corporate militias. Zyxthal allowed himself a satisfied click of his mandibles. This would be over quickly. The meeting took place on neutral ground, an abandoned mining station. Zyxthal brought his honor guard, 12 of the Empire's finest warriors. The humans brought 6. That should have been the first warning. The humans walked with an unsettling casualness, their movements loose but purposeful. Captain Chen smiled as she approached, and something about that smile made Zyxthal's instincts scream danger. "Let's skip the pleasantries," Chen said, sitting without being invited. "You want Earth to submit. We're here to explain why that's not happening." Zyxthal bristled at the disrespect. "Your world has no military. No weapons capable of resisting our fleet. Surrender now, and your species will be granted client status within the Empire." Chen's smile widened. "You're right. We don't have soldiers. We have something better." She gestured to her companions. They sat perfectly still, their eyes fixed on the Krithian warriors with an intensity that was deeply uncomfortable. One of them, a man with scarred hands, hadn't blinked once since entering the room. "Let me tell you about Earth," Chen continued. "For thousands of years, we've been at war with ourselves. We've perfected every form of violence you can imagine. But the most dangerous fighters we ever produced weren't our soldiers, they were the ones who enjoyed it." Zyxthal felt a chill run down his spine. "Psychopaths," Chen said softly. "People born without fear, without empathy, without the moral constraints that limit normal humans. In peacetime, they're liabilities. In war." She leaned forward. "They're weapons." One of her companions spoke for the first time, his voice flat and emotionless. "Your honor guards have been trained to suppress fear, to follow orders, to die for the Empire. Admirable." He tilted his head. "I felt fear once, when I was 6. I didn't understand it. I still don't. Orders." He laughed, a sound like breaking glass. "I follow them because I want to, not because I have to." Zyxthal's warriors shifted uncomfortably. The human's eyes were wrong, empty of everything except a cold, calculating intelligence. Chen stood. "Earth's governments made a deal with monsters, Commander. We identified, trained, and enhanced every psychopath willing to serve. We gave them purpose, direction, and the best technology we could create. Then we pointed them at anyone who threatened our survival." She walked toward the window, looking out at the stars. "Your warriors fight because they believe in the Empire, because they fear dishonor, because they love their homeworld. My people." She turned back. "They fight because they love fighting. They'll never surrender because they don't fear death. They'll never break because they don't feel guilt. And they'll keep coming, keep hunting, keep killing, long after any sane military would have retreated." The scarred man smiled, and it was the most terrifying expression Zyxthal had ever seen. "We've been waiting our whole lives for this. A war where we don't have to pretend to be human anymore." Chen placed a data pad on the table. "This contains casualty projections. What happens when Earth deploys its Reaper Core across your empire? Read it. Then withdraw from Epsilon 7, and we'll pretend this conversation never happened. They left without waiting for a response. Zewex, thou read the projections. 3 days later, the Crithian Empire issued a formal apology and withdrew all forces from disputed territories. The Empire had wanted war. Just not with an enemy that enjoyed it more than they did.